Hey everybody, welcome back to another Adventures of Pete. Still working on the American Autowire project, and been thinking about this a little bit. I think the hardest thing about this project is keeping yourself from being distracted from everything. So what do I mean by that? Focus on one thing at a time. That's what's going to make this project doable, and not keep your mind from wandering so much. So I found that when I'm trying to think of everything about this project, like its entirety, I'm just stopping myself from moving forward, and I'm focusing on all these things that I don't need to, when I can just focus on one thing and move forward. So I keep changing plans, keep changing my mind. I've always been, I think on my previous videos, I've been talking about wanting to do the rear body harness back here in the trunk area. So basically I could just kind of get this knocked off, check it off the list, and move forward. But just like I was just saying, my mind kept focusing on other parts of the project, and I just kept stopping myself. So change of plan. Not working on the rear harness yet, but I'll do that and I'll make a video about that. So what I did focus on though were some things that just kept popping up, and I just kept being like, geez, I got to focus on that. So the other day I came out here and started working on the car, and the first thing I did was I reran some of those harnesses. So basically, let's take a look at that there. So down in this corner here is where basically the front light harness comes out of, and then there's a hole over here, and I ran basically everything else through there. I've got my neutral safety switch, my engine harness, I've got my ignition circuit, and now I've also got my heater circuit, blower motor circuit, heater circuit run. So I focused on the blower motor, heater circuit, and the washer wiper circuit, and I was able to get them all done, and now I'm done with that and I can move on. I only have one more wire to hook up to complete all that. So I want to go look at these instructions here. I'll show you what it says here in the book, but this is the heater wiring for the 3-speed heater motor connections, and basically there's a little switch down on your where your controls are for your defrost and your heat and all that. There's a little switch that turns your fan on, and it's got 3 different speeds, so low, medium, high, and off. So it's a 4-way switch. On the back of that, I had some wires that came out that I had to crimp, put these connectors on, and then run them into this connector here. And then there's another harness that was in here that was really long that connected to here, and it runs over to the blower motor resistor. So I'll get underneath the car and show you all that. And then you have your blower motor outside the car here, and you have 2 wires that run to it. You have a brown heater. It's labeled heat AC, I think, on it, but it's kind of by itself. It's not included in anything, so it's easy to make out. And then they have a yellow wire that's separate. So this brown and yellow wire has to run out through the firewall and go out to your blower motor. So that was you know, down here's my blower motor. Here's the wiring that came out of it. You can see I sheathed it all up, and then right here, or maybe a little bit further up, is where the brown and yellow wire came in, and I made a connection there and got those all tucked up. So that's all done. So let's get underneath the car here. I'll show you what the rest of this stuff is I'm talking about. Grab a little light just so I can see a little better. So this is the passenger side of the car, and you know, this is where the glove box would be. So if you look right through there on the glove box, let me see if I can get this light a little better. You know, here's your connector right here, and then that yellow wire I was talking about that comes in, I'm gonna have to sheath that up and make a connection that goes like right here with this yellow wire here. So that's the only thing I got to hook up there. This connector here goes over to the other side of the dash. Let's see if I can get in here. To, like I said, this is where your controls are here for, you know, so this little switch right here is what turns your heater motor on. So in the back of it, let's see if I can get that in there. There's a connector right here. And that's, so that's where the other end goes. So that's the heater circuit. So that wasn't too bad to get hooked up, but it did take a little bit of time, but now it's done, so I can move on, like I said. The other one was the washer wiring that I did. So that's kind of neat. It there's a big motor underneath the dash here. Let's see if you can see it like right through here. Put a little bit of a better light on it. So there's a big motor down in there. There's a little pigtail that comes off of it. I think you can see it right there. And so you got to plug into that pigtail on one end of the wiring, and then the other end goes down in this corner down here. I don't know if I'll be able to get down in here for you to see it or not. It's really tricky. It's basically back in here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, so those wires go back in there, and it's this thing called the coordinator. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the instructions show you which different wire plugs into where, so it's not that bad of a deal. But you do got to sneak like way back in there, and what that does is it allows you to use that foot pedal to, there's, you know, the foot pedal right here that you kick with your foot, and that's what pumps the windshield washer fluid in there, but it also engages the windshield wipers one time. So got that done. Another little thing I did was I busted out the new dimmer switch right there and got its wiring all sheathed up. I've got that all plugged in too. So three big things I got knocked out there: the washer, the heater, and the blower motor, and then the dimmer switch. So 3 cool things I got knocked out there. Wasn't too hard, but it did take some time. So let's see here. I think here's the windshield wiper motor. So this connector here is what plugs into the actual wiper switch that's in your gauge cluster. That'll plug in there, and then these are the wires I was saying go in that coordinator back there that kind of looks like this. So it's just got these little terminals that come out, and you just slide these wires over the appropriate one. So it's all laid there, labeled there, so that wasn't too hard. And then, like I said, there's a third one that goes to the actual wiper motor. So it's like a split harness. It's kind of got the one, and then it branches over. This is what goes to the wiper motor, and this is what goes to the coordinator, and then this is what goes to your switch. There is an additional wire. It's a white wire, and it's labeled wiper, and it's actually got that gold or bronze or whatever that is terminal on it, and you do have to plug that into this harness right here. It goes to your wiper switch. So that's the one thing you got to do. Let me see, we can go take a look at that real quick actually too. So let's see here. I mean, this is the wire right here, this white one. So, you know, I labeled that wiper switch. Here's the connector, and that wire goes in there on the end. I'll clean that up a little bit once I get all these wires in place, but I don't have everything in place yet. But I thought that was a awesome bit of work to get done. Just trying to organize things a little bit. Actually got my radio wires run down through here. I've got an electric fuel pump that I'm trying to wire into the fuel pump circuit, which will go into this connector here. So it's starting to get there. Been super thrilled with how everything's going. So, but like I said, the whole thing about this project is to keep your mind focused on one task at a time. Just knock that out and then move forward. It's so easy to think while you're working on something what the next thing you should be doing, and I think that's the mistake that I've been making. That's what's been keeping me from moving forward. So don't let this project do that to you. Just pick one thing out that you want to focus on working on, and just work that the whole way through until you're happy with it, and then check that off the list and then move forward to the next thing. That's my best advice on this project. So I hope everyone hears that. So I wanted to talk about this split sheathing here that I've been working with for, you know, it just kind of opens up and you just shove the wires in there. This stuff here has been super cool to work with. It just cuts real easy with scissors. You just use this tape here on the ends, tape it all off wherever you want it. But this has been super helpful. So anything that doesn't have bare wires on the end, basically anything that has a big connector, you have to use this really big stuff. I mean, you can't use really thin stuff like this if you have this really big connector. So I found that using this split sheathing on any of the looms that had connectors on both ends just works beautifully. So I mean, here's a small example right here. These are these like courtesy lights that go under the dash, and that was all just bare wires. So I just stuck some of that looming in there and taped the ends off, and look at that. So I've been spending a lot of time wrapping up stuff, making it look nice and clean. So I'm happy with everything, and it's been going well. In a way, I wish I had more done, but I'm very happy with what's been done. So I'm not complaining. I think in the next day or so, a friend of mine's going to come over and give me another hand, and I'm going to be that much forward again. So I'm checking this stuff off, and I'm starting to get somewhere with this project. So it's pretty cool. So what next from here? It's hard to say. I keep changing my plans, like I said, but I can tell you some of the things that I do need to do still. So I think I'm going to focus on the neutral safety switch. Here's the factory one. It somehow needs to get wired into this guy here. I got to do that. I've got my engine harness here that goes to my temp sender and my oil pressure sender down here, and some of the wires also go to the GM HEI distributor. So it's got a wire for the tach and a wire for the 12-volt positive that goes there as well. So neutral safety switch, engine harness. So that's what's left for the motor. I have the ignition circuit that my friend Tom's been helping me with. So that's these couple of wires right here that are hanging. One's your main power that goes back to your dash, the red one obviously, and I think the purple one is basically what triggers your starter solenoid and makes your car start when you turn the key. So I still got to do the front light harness. Includes, you know, headlights, turn signals. There's a couple horns in here. I think I even left the wires in there for the electric fan in case one day I convert to an electric fan. So that wiring will be right down in there, right where it needs to be, in case I want to update to that. And then there's the rear harness that I said I was going to do first, and I'll probably end up doing last. So, and that pretty much will wrap me up. So the fact that I can even just tell you right like that what I have to do left means that I'm doing pretty well. A ton of tidying up, obviously. That's going to take a lot of time because I really want this to look nice, and that's about it. So I really just wanted this to be a segment on the washer wiper and the heater, washer wiper switch and the heater controls, heater wiring. So that's what I got finished up, and I wanted to show you that. So cool. So like I said, who knows what tomorrow's going to bring. Maybe I'll work on that neutral safety switch and the engine harness, get those done. I think that wouldn't be too bad. And I already actually did a engine harness for this car already, because the old one was really nasty looking. So I actually rewired that once already. So I'm pretty familiar with the engine harness. So I should be able to knock that out pretty quick, and just keep moving forward. So depending on how much time I get to come out here and work on this car, I don't think I got but maybe a month left. You know, I'm talking like, you know, 3 or 4 maybe really big days working on it, and then another 3 or 4 like smaller days just tidying things up, tucking things up into place and what have you. So awesome. So thanks for watching, everybody. Little update video on what's been done and what we're gonna do. And again, I think the biggest thing about this project is having your mind wander and not focus on one thing at a time. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Just focus on one thing that you're doing and just do that, and then say, okay, what am I going to do next? And don't complicate it, because it is complicated and you will complicate yourself very easily with this project. So one thing at a time, one bite at a time. We're doing pretty good, everyone. So don't let this project get you down. It's really not that bad, especially if you focus on one thing at a time. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Spread the good word. I appreciate the viewership. Please like, subscribe, you know, ding that bell if you're into the series. I did make a playlist on my channel just for all these American Autowire videos. So if you just want to focus on those videos, you can go to the playlist and just watch all the videos that has just to do with the American Autowire. So cool. All right, everybody, till the next time, be good to everybody, and I will see you soon. Later.